Ready? Yes, I am. How y'all doing? Hello, everybody. We have Adrian, Tony, Lena, and Sienna. We have, okay, now it started. It popped up now. I ain't saying that again. But hi. The Gemini who won't repeat. There's a word. How y'all doing? Hi, Tres Leche. Me and Tres Leche are taking Lori's class, her tarot class. And I must say, in my class, in Zoom, like everybody's picture, there's like five people's pictures at the top, and then yours is a big one unless you go to like the gallery view. I'd always have to find her picture. She makes the funniest faces in the world, especially when you say something scandalous. It is just it's the greatest thing you ever want to see. And so when Lori is explaining something, like the devil card, for instance, or the two of cups, she just makes the funniest face, and it's golden. So I appreciate you, Chris Leche. I really do. I really do. Okay. Oh Lord, not the petty people are in the house now. Lenormand and Jen Lynn, y'all mind yourself. We're gonna have Sunday a very, how do I say without being demonic? We're going to talk about whores and things. And so
did I hear that okay, or was it the accent?
No, I just threw it out there because why am I beating around the bush?
You say who was?
Yes, who was. We're going to talk about who was. So I mean, that's what we're going to do. I just want to throw that out there just in case, you're sensitive and you
And why are you talking about
because
and bushes?
Because why not? That's a great topic.
We can. That's all. Yeah. I mean, if we need a reason to be petty, then ain't no point. So
are we talking here in this discussion, Johnny? It's that thing, isn't it, of language? So are you talking about sex workers, or are you talking about nasty people?
I am talking about a nasty person who would like to be a sex worker.
Oh, okay.
Yes. A sex worker is not a bad thing, because I myself do not mind sex workers. I think it's an industry that is needed. Sometimes you don't want to. Hi, how are you? I'm good. What's your name? What do you do for a living? What's your favorite color? 20, 45, 50, 55, 110. How much do you charge? Let's go.
Right. I don't need no slap and tickle. I just need to get.
And no kissing.
You get up, you go on about your business. Give me the wake up call. I'm on my
Slam down.
Don't you find that hard anyway with what we do when people say, "What do you do?"
Yeah.
I'm a peer of the future. So that's what we're going to do on Sunday. But that's on Jen Lynn's channel, so that's all up to her. She shall steer that boat.
Jen Lynn.
I will just be in the seat. But let's go to Adrian, Red Lentil Healing. You have anything you want to talk about coming up? Anything?
I believe I'll be talking about whores, prostitutes, and paid sex workers with you guys on Sunday. According to me texting Jen the other day, like, girl, shut up. Girl, I'm like, oh my gosh. Side note, one of us in this live stream may actually have an investment for property in Amsterdam, where they are going to post retirement, possibly open up a house for sex workers to go sex work.
Oh, look, it's really different in Europe.
I mean, it ain't new.
It's just a completely different conversation. You can go to the bank and get a loan as a sex worker, because that's an industry, and you can show you've paid your rent, or you've got your deposit or whatever.
I can only afford one of the windows. One of the windows.
A well-crafted 401k and
like 401k.
So There you go. So yeah, join the horror conversation on Sunday, and then I'm just getting back to swing things, so that's about all. That's all.
Shining Hawk Healing. Do you have anything you want to talk about? Anything coming up?
Let me ask the Johnny on my shoulder. Do I
That's the whole of the next one.
He ain't got nothing nice to say. Don't talk to him.
No, I'm just sort of getting back into the swing of things. I took, when I was doing the cards, it was just like, it was 24/7. I was going to bed with doing the cards. I was getting up doing the cards. So I took a few weeks off. So now I'm sort of getting back into the swing thing. So I'll just probably put up a few videos this week and slip back into it slowly.
You know what? Have you made a video about your cards?
You should do that.
Yes, but I didn't post it.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm thinking, have I seen a video about the cards? Like are these the flip through or?
No, I am gonna do. I did a video and it came out. I was like, ugh, I don't like the way it came out. So I have to do another one.
You know what's worse too is when you make a video and you're like 11 minutes in and then it all falls to crap. And it's like,
or like the phone rings or the doorbell.
Do you start again?
Or the
Do
dog
you leave
bark.
the dodgy bits in?
The dogs
yeah,
constantly.
I made a video today. Kamala Harris is starting a task force for online harassment and bullying. So I'm doing the reading, and there's a thing that pops up on the computer, says you have to free up space on your disk, this. It just turned off. It stopped recording. It said, forget you. You should have listened when I said it in the first place. And I'm like, okay, I'm not doing it again. So task force, whatever. If you don't care, I don't care.
Can't have nothing nice.
Anyway, Lena, you have anything coming up? Anything you want to talk about?
No, but I've had a busy week. So I've done a lot of collabs this week, including Celtic Sheila, Diane's Tarot, and Lady G. So they're all there if people want to catch up on those.
Sienna, anything, everything?
Let's see. Last week I put out, I think it was last week already, I put out a new video on the top 5 scary tarot cards and what they're actually all about. So if you haven't seen that one yet, go check it out because I really like it. I had fun making that one. And tomorrow I will have a pick a card reading scheduled. So that's kind of all I'm up to for the time being. And tonight we're here.
And Lena Rodriguez from Tarot Down Under has a tarot deck coming out in October. It is available for pre-order now. If you go to Amazon and type in One World Tarot, it will pop up. Or if you also type in Lena Rodriguez, it will also pop up. You can get your pre-order now. And if you learn anything from pre-orders, especially with Tony's deck, who is also available, get yours before it sells out. And they have to restock and all that type of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it feels like
that's a nice thought. That's very kind.
Make sure you get it.
My advice is do a double order. I mean, well, if yours is on Amazon, but mine is on my website. So next time I have to do double order.
So make sure you go and you pre-order your deck. Of course, you know I got mine. So it's
I'm so
right before my birthday. So that's my birthday present to myself.
Oh, that's cute. That's very
so
cute.
we have, if you go to shininghawkhealing.com, thank you, Joanne. You can order Tony's deck, probably pre-order because she needs to stock up again for the Morning Sky Tarot. If you go to Amazon, you can get Lena Rodriguez One World Tarot, which she worked on with Sienna Rose as well. If you go to Amazon and type in 30 Days of Positive Thinking, you can get Sienna Rose's coloring book. And if you go to redlentilhealing.com, you can get everything in the world except Jesus. You go to redlentilhealing.com, she's got a plethora of things, and I know you're like at least 2. So she's got all kinds of creams and oils and candles and good stuff. So make sure you go
good stuff
there too. If you go to TarotsApprentice.com, you will get nothing because there is no such thing. So,
and lucky girl, thank you for posting up that information.
Yes, and thank you also
great job
for I haven't ate one yet. for my maple flavored lollipops.
Oh, those are so good.
Oh,
So
Yum.
we gonna see what you just did to me here. So there we go.
It tastes
They
like,
come from Canada.
Mhm.
it tastes like a grizzly bear scratched a tree, and then he just took a little thing and put it underneath, and then just
It's a yogi pop, a Winnie pop.
like.
very
Okay, so I've stalled enough. I guess. Jesus, what was that? Poltergeist.
All
Okay.
your stuff is falling over.
I told there's too much extra spare crap in here. Anyway, that kind of goes with this question, I suppose. Is there something else with us other than spirit, God, whatever you call it, angels, guides, and ancestors? Do we have another thing that we are not completely aware of or we haven't given a name to? Is there something else with us other than just God and angels, guides, and ancestors?
Something other than those?
Yes. Is there some other fifth entity that walks with us and helps us in that? Well, spirit, I said spirit. Spirit is God. Is there something else? Voyeurs. Y'all play too much.
Trolls.
what I got actually.
We got peekaboos.
Lurkers.
Let's see.
Oh.
I was not prepared for this.
I was
Gonna eat them up.
What you get?
Okay, well, first card here I have Storm, and I'm gonna just show you some of the other ones I had alongside the Storm card. Okay, we have that's 5 of Pentacles and 10 of Swords. These are all like darkness and suffering.
Yeah.
There are some entities out there that seem to have like taken on the role of suffering, or that's like their identity kind of.
I got the
Um,
same thing, Sienna.
We're supposed to learn. There's something we're supposed to learn from them. I think they're learning too. They're on a path of ascension. It's maybe we see it differently than our own, but there's definitely there are some dark kind of beings out there.
Okay. Adrian, what you get?
Darkness and something that's burdensome to us. And I know this, I'm not surprised. I'm just surprised it came out the way that it did, as my roommates, we call it Wakiko energy in shamanism. That's basically kind of what it's showing, that it's a darker, something that can be burdensome, something that if you are not prepared to handle, can, because it has, I don't want to say ill intent, but that's technically what it is. It's ill intent kind of in a way, or it can be, that you have to kind of combat, and you need to combat diligently is what I would say with the 8 of Swords. Here's the thing though, and I've learned this from years of just studying, it takes, for every negative energy, it only takes very little of our positive energy to combat that. So it's not something that you need to be afraid of. And
Need of forces. No.
Yeah, there's this, crap energy. Yes, it is, because that's why they're crappy people who do crappy things. They succumb to that. It's up to you to make. That's why they say keep your vibration higher. That is not semantics. It's an actual literal instruction. Keep your vibrations high, because that's what actually combats that energy. And that's what I got.
Lena, what you get?
Well, I had to puzzle over this for a minute. It's an interesting question, isn't it? Really? Okay, I got the 6 of Cups, and that was the first card, and I think that's sort of saying we are a sum of what has gone before. That is the ancestors and everything else coming through to make us the particular beings we are, but it's what we do with it. I'll get to the other entity in a minute. It's what we do with it, with the Two of Wands, striking out on our own, you know, having the world. But I think it's talking about our higher selves. Now, whether you could say that's an entity or not, I'm not sure. The messenger. So I think there is a conduit between what has gone before, what we make of our lives, and if we're still tuned in to our higher soul, spirit, energy when we're here on the mortal plane. And some people do and some don't. Okay, so there's that. And then the star energy, it's keeping hold of this higher energy. It's different because, as we all know, spirit lets us do whatever we want, whatever disastrous, self-harming, negative things we want in this playground called Earth. But are we still or should be connected to our higher selves, which perhaps is a fifth source or something like that?
Tony, what you get? You're muted.
I feel like I got the first blush, it looks like I got the exact opposite.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
so I got this card, and which just means that there's work that is being done, and the purpose is for our our illumination, our consciousness, raising of the consciousness, so helping us with our meditation, helping us with our speech and being sort of truthful with what we're saying, and keeping us on the path on the path. Now it does go through darkness, because this is the dark waters of looking within, because that's why we're here to examine ourselves. But there's balance in that energy, and it's there to sort of bring us into a space of joy. So I feel like I got the exact opposite. And then sacred space, we are sacred space. It's who we are. It's what we are. We are light beings, and we are sacred if we choose to be. So I don't know. That's what I got.
I was shuffling, and the Judgment and Ace of Pentacles popped out. We are like walking portals, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
There is no need to search for the veil or search for the other side. You sort of immersed in it already. Even when you do mediumship and it sounds like someone's far away, it's different. It's an energy level. That's one is higher than the other type thing. Because you can get some people, they sound like they are literally inside your ear, and then there's some people sound like they're down the street.
Yes.
So it's like there's something peeking in. Whatever this, I'm going to call it an entity, because the Ace of Pentacles, it's light and dark, though. It has something to do with suffering.
Has to be. Yeah.
And has something to do with joy. And it's almost like a two-faced type of thing, to where it has this part and has that part. So to Adrian's point, I think it is very important to keep one's vibration high, because when it's lower, you can dwell in this far too long, and then you sort of become that energy. And so I think it is an absorption of your experience. So there's like another you walking with you. So it's something that is spiritually affected. It's something that's energetically affected. And maybe that is the thing that goes into the next life. I don't know, but it's a light and dark thing, and it walks with you. That's what I'm going to call it anyway. Okay, that was hard. Anyhow,
Yeah.
So
I never really thought about that, though.
it is. I mean,
In the comments, me, myself, and I said intelligent energy, and that's a concept too. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, all of it is, though.
Yeah.
Like spirits, angels, guides, ancestors.
Yeah, it would come. You could call it under that umbrella. Yeah.
Mhm.
I just always wanted to know if there's another thing that, because how do we know about spirits? We experienced it. Angels, guides, ancestors, we experienced that thing, but we experienced something else and we probably just pay it no mind or haven't given it a name. So I just always wondered about that. So I wonder also, how far can our guides see into the future? Can they see the end of our life?
Ooh, heavy.
Because I have heard, I'm gonna call Jen Lynn out because I think she's told this story before. If you haven't, I'm gonna tell you business right now. She had a reading from someone, but it was years and years and years ago, and like 20 years later, what he told her was coming to pass. And so, how far can a person's guide see? Can they see the end of your life or not? Because I always wondered how that worked. Do they see us like a movie projection? Is it just I see the events of your life, or I only see what you ask me? How far can they see?
And are you talking spirit guides? Or are you talking like
Our guides, our personal
actual guides?
Yeah.
Hmm. I think it depends on what's going to help you.
To the end. To the end. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, were you ready to go first?
No. That just flipped out. I was like,
Oh, I was just going to say, I think it depends on what's going to help you, because I think there are some times where they can like be given or shown information about your future. If it's going to, like I said, if it's going to actually serve you. Sometimes, like, you know, I've had people who want a reading and they want to know what it's going to be like next 10 years or whatever. I'm like, okay, but if you knew that now, is it going to help you?
Yeah.
Or are you just going to sort of dwell on it and miss out on what you're supposed to be doing? And then there are times if something is like preventable, maybe. But I have here for the most part, like the short term. And I also have this follow your dreams card. This one is showing me that they can see things that haven't actually happened yet, but could happen based on your decisions. So they see possible outcomes.
Yeah.
Okay. Lena, what'd you get?
Yeah, I agree with Sienna in the sense, okay, I think they can see right to the end of a life here, but they choose to only give us what we can handle, right? Because we couldn't handle the truth by and large, most people, most of the time. If it was just laid out when you were 14 and someone said, oh, well, you know, you're going to go in a car accident at 32, you know, I mean, it's not appropriate. So we couldn't handle it. So they're quite strict in a way about that, and leaving it to you with the Wheel of Fortune to carve out the life in the shape that you want and can control. But I think they can see possibly the end, but also the in-betweens. But it's up to us to catch up with how our lives play out and to have whatever we could talk about as free will operating. I do wonder about that. Yeah.
That conversation, it still runs through my head, I swear.
Yeah.
Adrian, what'd you get?
I get the opposite. I'm just saying what the cards say.
Yeah.
The opposite of what Lena and Sienna get. Their job, 7 of Pentacles, is to be the support our thoughts, our actions with the Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords. Here's the thing, though. They're here to share information. The challenge, though, the message that they give us with the Knight of Cups. I get that because whether free will is actual or free will is a fallacy, and the cards is telling me it's an actual thing with the Two of Wands, they can't necessarily see everything because we don't know. Because we don't know what decision we're going to make until it's presented to us. They can be steering us with the Queen of Wands and Queen of Swords in some particular directions, and then this guy shows up, and then we go all higgledy piggledy, and you're like,
yeah, damn, here we go. Yeah,
I told this heifer. We tried to push this heifer.
we tried to plant those seeds.
We tried to help lay out the blueprint, and all she had to do, I bet you the Three of Wands would have been next.
And now she's gone back to him.
And now she's making our jobs very, very difficult with the Seven of Pentacles. So I get that they don't necessarily have the blueprint because of free will. And if we followed a particular path, then they could. But really, it started off with the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands and the Seven.
Yeah,
That is their job, is to be the supporters of our actions and our thoughts.
Okay.
At least that's how I'm interpreting these cards.
Yeah.
Sue me if I'm wrong. Don't sue me. Renlands will
Wrong word.
Very limited.
entertainment purposes only.
We don't have that kind of money right now.
So this I heard in my head when I laid this card down is that we are so attached to that question. What's going to happen to us in our lives? This is, what we are so attached to, and with good reason. We want to know.
People don't like uncertainty.
People want this illumination. They want to know what's happening and, all the answers for all of the bad stuff that happens in our lives, but they are here to work with us. This is the contract that we have gone into, that they work with us to show us, the different ways we can handle those situations. They give us support and whispers in our ear. Don't do that. Don't drink that. Don't do that. And so that we can keep a lid on our emotions, because life is hard and then we die. Of course, what happens? But they need to keep it, secret. It has to be a secret in order for us to get to the point where we advance in our lives and we collect all the information that we need in this iteration of our soul. And that's what I got.
I get that they know what will help you, but they don't know everything, because it's not their job to know your whole life. It's their job to help you in life. Your life is blueprint, according to this, is laid out by Spirit. God got your blueprint. Everybody else got your get along, how it is that you're going to go through life, especially based upon your questions. Here with the Six of Swords, that is your ultimate getting through life. Life is rocky. Life is smooth. Life is baggage. Life is transitions. Life is Six of Swords. But the Ace of Cups would be your spirituality. This comes from above them. This is above their pay grade to know how you're going to die. The Eight of Pentacles and Three of Swords, that's not their job. This is not their job to know the end of your life, but with the Sun and the Seven of Wands, they can tell you what is going to help you, what is going to put you on the higher plane, put you on the higher ground. That way you have a better chance of defending against those who attack you, so forth and so forth. That's what I think. Okay. So switching gears, I was watching a video that was quite disgusting, but I couldn't look away, of a octopus
Most of the internet.
literally walking out of the water in search of low crabs. And so he was like going to these little, puddles of water, finding crab. And I'm like, why are you not in the water, sir? I need you to get back in where you belong with all the other slimy aliens. Because the ocean is, you want to search for ETs, look there first, okay?
Yeah.
If anything is going to crash on this earth, it's going to land more than likely in the water. And so, since 70% of this planet is all water, it's probably going to go there, and it's probably going to be just fine if it can breathe. So, what I want to know, There's a fish that has evolved, or as the proper word, adapted. It has little rudders on the side of its body because its food source has now been out of reach for a very long time because of, land and recession and receding water, blah, blah, blah. So it has little rudders on the side of its body that can propel it along the land long enough for it to eat. It still can't breathe oxygen, but enough for it to eat, and then it can go back to the water. The octopus is just strolling down Main Street like, this is what I do. So I want to know, especially with less and less of their water being habitable, is more things going to come walking out of the water? Are we going to see this? Is this going to be a precedent now?
Okay. Well, I'd just like to say, as an Australian, we have the most lethal creatures in the world that claim to fame, and a lot of them are in the water. And so you have box jellyfish that can kill you. You have stingrays like killed Steve Irwin. We have stonefish. They just look like a rock. You tread on them, you're really ill or you die. We have water snakes. We have everything. So I think we're perhaps ahead of the game in some way. we're used to these creepy things.
See, because my thing is, there are certain things scary African Americans just don't do.
Yeah.
I don't walk around the woods, especially at night. I don't mind skiing. I think that's more of a stereotype. I don't mind skiing, but I'm not going to do it. I don't mind it, but I'm not going in the water where things are bigger than me and stronger than me, especially faster than me. So no.
With big teeth.
I don't even want to walk down the street and somebody got a Rottweiler, let alone bears. So no, thank you. I'm not that person.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No pit bull puppies either, Johnny.
No. Oh, your dog is cute. How old is she? No, ma'am. Ma'am. And don't let your dog touch me either, Wayne. Dwayne, I ain't that friendly. Okay. I always got a knife in my pocket. I'm gonna stick him and you. So don't be fooled.
You sound like my dad. We have to remind him not to take his little blade with him everywhere.
Well, I almost pulled it out now. I'm on YouTube. This is gonna be weapon. Okay.
Your father acts like he's on 125th Street in Harlem.
That's my father.
I grew up in a place. You walking down the street. Hey, what time is it? Don't talk to me. Because if I get close enough to you, you're gonna try to reach in my pocket or knock me down. I said no.
No.
I don't know what time it is, and I ain't got no cigarette. No.
That's right.
You want to know what time it is? Go find a clock.
Mm-hmm.
My name ain't Ben. I don't know.
Most people have phones nowadays anyway, so might as well just check.
They don't want to know what time it is. They want you to come close enough to them because they're I can't hear you. Yes,
that's right. That's right.
Try again, Tyrone. Anyway, Adrian, what you get?
I get yes because yes, it starts off. There are new things that are going to have to adapt. Because of this guy right here, the devil could be just global warming. The devil could be us as humans. The devil could be whatever you want it to be. I think it's just going to be their habitat somehow being destroyed or limited or whatever. So yes, we're going to see more of this because you're going to have to defend. It is because it's going to be fight or flight with the Two of Swords. Do we... oh my gosh, go extinct? I think that's the word I'm looking for. Do we try to adapt and survive? But yeah, they will. In the environment too, they're going to want to hold on. They're just survival is going to be by any means necessary. Because again, in the emotions, they don't want to lose that. They don't want to go extinct. It's been here before us. We have not even seen a fourth of the sea critters.
Yeah.
There is some sea urchins that would probably rock our. There could be some sea urchins as big as the Empire State Building, and we would never know.
No, that's right.
So, if it's up to win or lose, but they're going to hold on. They're going to want to win. Illumination or positivity at the end, yes, they are going to continue to adapt because cockroaches were here before us, which is another form of a sea urchin. Sea critter tastes real good from Red Lobster. Sea roaches, and that's what's going to continue to survive. So yes, I think they will.
And if you listen to some scientists and biologists, they will say that's where life started. Everything walking around here walked out of there at some point. So I guess we'll see. Shining Hawk Healing, what did you get?
I get that human interference is causing a lot of this in the oceans.
Yeah.
It's very worrying for the fish or the mammals who live there, and they are having to move out of that and into something new. They want to get stronger, and they're telling us, hey, buddy, come over here. Get over here. Talk to me. We got to do something about this. So it's a matter of time, and time is running out for a lot of species. So once again, the humans will have to intervene. So that's what I get. Yeah,
I don't know if I have an evolution card, but Lena, what'd you get?
Well, there's certainly things we don't know that are lurking in the deep. And like you were saying, Johnny, they've had a 200 million year head start on us, so they're sort of going on. They're going to be looking for a safer place to live. Yeah, like Tony said. And we're not necessarily going to be happy about that. And I think there's going to be a lot of them. We're going to, so probably stories, in Scotland, fishermen pulled this up, and in Sri Lanka, somebody pulled this up. I think there's going to be quite a few of these. But I think we're in a time of ultimate adaptation and transformation, good, bad, or ugly. It's what we do as humans from this point that will determine their future and our future, and to realize that in fact it's connected, even if we don't like its little slimy tentacles, we are connected and part of, Yeah.
Sienna, what you get?
Well, I got that. Yeah, with the strength card, I actually heard like Earth's creatures will prevail. That sounds really dramatic, but it's true. It'll be a tough transition, though. It's not going to be easy. I'm thinking there will be a lot of death involved. And at first, it'll be little creatures. We'll start seeing it more and more with little things. I have this universal energy card. It says universal energy, always at your service. Life is always evolving and changing. It just has, I don't know what it is, but it's like the life energy itself just has this drive to continue. And if that means changing to fit the circumstances, then it means changing. We're going to see more of this. I think it's going to be over quite a long period of time, though.
Yeah, I think so too. Because if you look at it now, it has been a long time. If you think about the span of time, we're 300,000 years humans are been walking around. They've changed a lot too. So but here with the 2 of Cups is how it starts. 5 of Swords, Ace of Swords. Yes, because they're going to be forced to. Because there is a defeat where you currently are, and so you're going to have to find new avenues, Ace of Cups and Ace of Swords. Because I got 10 of Swords too. So it's like you are forced to find an alternative. Which, that happens to people. They migrate. And they go places where, there's jobs or foods or whatever else. So they do it. Now, mind you, yes, it is different because from the ocean to the air is a big jump. They're not Little Mermaid, for God's sakes. But at the same time, the times are forcing you to be. So, whole new world, as they say. Okay. In Mice.
Hold on, Johnny.
Go forward.
What deck was that, please?
The Glamourous Tarot. It's on Etsy. It's not that expensive either. It's a makeup palette thing. It's like lipstick instead of swords,
Oh, I love that.
and makeup palettes instead of pentacles.
Oh, that is hilarious.
9 of Wands, but it still has the Rider Waite, so you're not having to remember what
No.
kind of lipsticks versus 9 of
No, because it still says 5 of Wands, even though it's makeup brushes.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
I got that in my shopping cart now. I got Lena's deck in the shopping cart. Thank you.
And that's the back. And the shipping is also fast too.
Okay.
Mm.
That's the last. Okay. Thank you. Sorry about that.
I just got this one today, actually, or yesterday. Was Thursday. Yesterday. Yes, because that's what I needed. Was another tarot deck.
Why not?
Oh, in the comments, Joe says, when sharks walk out on land, the people of Florida are coming north.
Please don't stay there.
If you're smart enough.
Make friends. They might be Republican. So anyhow, so mice. Speaking of Republicans, mice. they have. Be neutral. They have the bubonic plague. That's what they have. Okay, mice in this laboratory, I forget where, it doesn't matter. They have taken proteins to turn their adult cells into stem cells. So they are reversing the aging process in mice. Will they be able to do that one day in humans?
Only if you can pay.
Yeah.
You'd say that and look,
I mean,
I'm keeping it.
it came out. It was. Oh, mine flew out too.
And this has been the search, hasn't it? You know, the search for youth.
The fountain of youth. They finally found it.
Alchemy. It was all about,
Isn't that how Ponce de Leon's ass ended up in Florida?
They found it.
Oh, that's funny. Jesus.
Okay. I don't know if I'd want that then.
Yeah.
It's not based on what these cards are saying.
I mean, there's enough chemical I pour into my body already that has probably altered the absolute crap out of me. I don't want you doing it too.
I love things that are red, and we all know red 40 is like the number one combination.
I don't know what red 40 tastes like, but I eaten it a lot.
When you look at the back of a bag of Doritos, that's the first ingredient that shows up.
People through the pandemic asked, will there be a food shortage? No. There'll be a supply shortage on this and that, but half the things we eat are not food.
Not no.
Like half the things we eat, it's not classified as food. It's right. It's a science project in a bag. That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Delicious.
But it's delicious.
It's so good.
I jack them.
Yeah, all that fat and sugar. Ooh, yum.
Yum.
I started eating Tim Tams because of you.
Oh, it's my fault.
You said the word Tim Tam. I'm like, what the heck is a Tim Tam?
What the hell?
And then somebody told me, and I'm like, okay, well, let me try it. And I got a raspberry and a mint and a double chocolate and a caramel downstairs.
And you can't go back.
No.
Other cookies just go, don't cut it.
Oreo who? No.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. No. A red lint of healing, what you get?
Sorry. Gary's comment irritated the horse snot out of me. Not Gary, but the comment, because I was reading about that yesterday and I lost all train of thoughts. I can't even do my reading. Yes, they will. However, it's going to be highly, highly, highly expensive.
Yes.
It is going to be for the vain and the narcissist. Vain. Not all people who are vain are narcissists. So let me back up. That's not fair. Extremely vain people. People who cannot get out of the mental trap of beauty and the looks. Here's the thing, though. Be really careful, because there's going to be a lot of side effects in it. This is in the environment. It's the
that same thing.
It's going to be a lot of side effects. So much so that they're almost there's going to be kind of hard to even get into production, or not even production, like FDA to pass it. So it may even be that you have to go overseas or somewhere else to get it. But it's going to have a lot of side effects. So you may have 4 livers, a spleen, and half a kidney when you're done. You'll look like a toddler. So
yeah, that's true.
Walking petri dish. You got all kind of stuff growing in you.
Yeah, I mean,
it makes sense that it would be expensive. And if you go to the beauty counter now, you get something this size. Oh, it's got whale blubber in it from, the Madagascar forest somewhere. It's like, and it costs you $99. It's ridiculous.
That has a 6 month
look
shot.
what highlights in your hair cost if you want that. I see young women paying hundreds of dollars for it.
Especially when you have long hair.
I used to my hair bill would be like $400, $450.
Yeah.
And that's before the tip.
Yeah.
I cut it all off.
Tip, you should get a week's free accommodation.
Leanna, what you get?
Well, first card I got was breakthrough. This is a very significant big discovery, and it's really exciting to the scientific community. It's cool. It's kind of like a sci-fi thing coming true almost, but hella expensive, and not just expensive for the consumer, but expensive with research. They're gonna need grants. They're gonna need, I don't know how they fund science. I know they get grants. I don't know if they get donations. Who knows? But they're gonna need get that money from somewhere. There's still a lot that needs to be discovered before it's remotely safe to do in people. I pick up with this King of Swords. A lot more research needs to be done, because I also got, this is my card that was showing side effects. They may not show up right away, but there will be some that will pop up over time, that if somebody kind of rushes into this without doing enough research and making sure they know how to do it right, there could be problems down the road. In the meantime, with this Lover's card, it's in the future, do this if you want to, but you always have the option of loving and accepting yourself as you are, where you are, as you age. Which is probably easier said than done. I don't know. I'm only 26 saying that, but that option of loving yourself and accepting that, it's always going to be there.
I wonder if it would help. I had to look up the name of the disease. I think it's Progeria, where the children who age very rapidly, it's a rare genetic disease. I can see it benefiting them.
That would
that
be
the Benjamin Button
application of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tony, what you get?
I got the patience and planning. Yes, with it will translate into the human's DNA kind of in a way, but there's a lot of mental issues that go along with this. The hope is that it will be amazing for people, but it's one of those choose wisely situations. Which would you rather have? Would you rather have 2 livers and a spleen that doesn't work or whatever? Which do you want? But it's ignited our passion, and the fact that it's been a victory and success can't be overlooked. People will want to pay for it, especially the powerful, the people who would like to live forever, the people who would like to owning the world. I'm talking, who I'm talking about. The people who have lots of money, because those are the only people who are going to be able to afford it. Just like the people who can go to space.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Your comment made me think of, though, about choosing wisely. It reminds me of the one Indiana Jones movie where he has to pick the Holy Grail, and the bad guy or whatever, there's all these really pretty ones, and he picks the wrong one, and it just turns him into a skeleton, into dust. It's just like, he chose poorly. I don't know why it made me think of that, but I got a kick out of it. I had to share.
Yeah, it's a very interesting road to walk down, though, to try to reverse aging. I mean, you can reverse aging, but what does it do? Does it just reverse the outside, or does the inside also reverse? And what in the world are they doing to you that your liver is receding in its age and your kidneys are receding in their age? And how do you stop it?
Right.
Does your body know to stop it? Does your body now confused? And as Adrian said, now you got 3 livers and 10 spleens and all these type of things. And
yeah, mental conflict. That's where it comes in.
And then what about people who get this done and then they go on and have babies? How is that going to affect an unborn child?
DNA in their how's that? What does that do?
Birth defects, genetic problems, you never know.
And you have this, and what do you do with your 50-year-old children? How do you explain them?
Lena, what you do?
TLC reality show.
Yeah.
Just before I get into this, we've got to remember too, this is a really culturally determined thing, in the sense that America, and therefore most Western countries, it's this youth worshipping, beauty worshipping sort of culture at any price. And when you actually mix with other people, it's so refreshing when that all drops away. So just to remember, it's important for us to remember this is driven. It's an extension of commercialization in other ways. Yeah, they're out there. I think they're on the brink of it, for sure. Chasing youth, but, trying to reinvent what a human is almost, and certainly intervening in the natural life transition processes, going back. It doesn't matter. As long as I look young, nothing matters, right? Chasing whether it was whatever, but this is sort of the mature version, the beautiful, mature thing. Of course, men are going to be pursuing this too, but it's largely going to be driven by women who want to look like the Queen of Wands forever.
Targeted at women.
It is a juggle, I think, between money and side effects. It's also the nature of the research. So what does that research look like? And so you were saying, Sienna Rose, where does research money come from? As an academic, I've seen it go from, it used to be called pure research. Someone would research in a university or a hospital, and it didn't matter who was paying the bills. It was pure research, and then they didn't own a patent to anything. They had contributed their intellectual thought. Well, those days are gone, and research is bought and sold. So it will be privately funded because, of course, there's a lot of money to be made. But at the end, the message is, and we've all said it one way or another, it's better to adjust to where you're at and be your best self than pursue this. Yeah.
Because I think this is not in the reading, this is my opinion. I think no matter how old you are or what the wrinkles may show, your hair color, whatever, your mentality is what you need to fix and not what's out here. I don't care how old you are, because you can be 77 and be the worst person ever. You can be 15 and still be the worst person ever. But it's a bit, because you're still growing. But by the time you hit 77, that's what you need to be working on, because you're still an idiot and you shouldn't be, because you've had 77 years to get something right.
Exactly.
And you have not. You have failed 77 times. But even then, there's still room. because you ain't gone yet. So work on that part. Forget about all this other stuff because anyway, but that is part of the culture. There is the Five of Wands as I use the deck full of makeup. There's the Five of Wands. It is.
Fitting.
There's a
It's fitting.
conflict, and it's the Five of Wands. There are 5 people on it, and they all wear different garments because it's diverse, but the diversity is working against them because nobody's on the same page. They're all going in different directions. They all have their own agenda. They all came with their own plan, and nothing's working. They put it all on the table. Mine's better. Mine's better. Mine's better. Mine's better. There is a successful trial, but the Fool, for those who are learning the tarots, is not over in 10 minutes. This is the Fool's journey, which means you got to go all the way to the world card through all the up and down and garbage and crap and good time, bad time. Thank you, Linda. You got to go through a whole lot before he is done with just that leg of diversion.
Again, so do it twice.
Yes, and then you have to go through some more. But there will be some success, but it is not convincing to doctors. This is my doctor card. They're not convinced. 7 of Cups. There's just too many different avenues we haven't explored. This is too soon. This is this and this, and what about the long terms of that? And all of the brain trusts are all coming in and saying, what about this? What about this? What about this? And the way you poke a hole in anything is to question it. Is if it can't stand up to questioning, then don't do it.
That's because they know you're going to end up with 18 spleens, 4 livers, and 3 kidneys. That's because they know.
Two words, zombie
Yeah,
apocalypse.
I just remember a story. This is from maybe 10 years ago or something. I was at a Pacific Arts Festival, so all the different cultures from around the Pacific and stuff. And the Hawaiians and the Tahitians and the Cookers sent these beautiful dance troupes, like eye-wateringly gorgeous, the men and the women, just stunning, right? And the Aboriginal delegation from Australia said, why did you send the young and the beautiful? What would they know about culture? They're too young. Right? And they sent their old people because they thought it was a cultural festival and that people were serious about culture. And I always remember that,
There is, I mean, you get passed over. I hate the word ugly. I think that's the worst word in English language, but you get passed over if you're ugly and you don't get taken seriously if you're pretty. So it's
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yes, but we chase it because not we, but some chase it because they want to be pretty, and they want to be pretty forever.
It'll be like the next.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say it would be the next beauty thing, like youth in a bottle, that kind of thing.
But has it already gone too far? Because you're seeing these cartoon versions of people, like Don Jr.'s girlfriend, who I call the inflatable Kimberly, it goes beyond anything.
Or that child, it's a man though who wanted to look like Barbie or Ken or something.
Yeah,
he looked so cartoon. It was sad though, but I did laugh a little bit.
There's
but he looked ridiculous. And I don't see, and it's interesting, our eyes and what we perceive. I didn't see what he saw. He liked it, but I thought you looked ridiculous. But I didn't pay for it. It's your face. You do what you want to do.
Yeah.
What's that condition of body image condition? What's it
body
called?
dysmorphic.
Yeah, you look in the mirror, you don't see that reflection that we see.
Yeah.
And I think Michael Jackson definitely suffered from that.
Absolutely.
And mind you, he was told he was ugly. So I kind of get his a little, I guess his is a little different.
Well,
maybe.
It's very different because therapy might have been better than more plastic surgery.
But he had an outlet what he thought would help. Is probably what his was. What were you saying, Adrian?
Sienna was saying something earlier.
What was I saying earlier? It was about aging. Oh yeah. I I kind of see it as a privilege, really, because it means that you survived. It means you got to live. Because, like, I know people who've lived into their 90s, and I know people who've died at 17. And I honestly, if it meant that I could have more time with the people I love, give me the effects of gravity on boobs. I don't care. Give me I have the eye wrinkles. I love them. I have the lines. I like them. It gives your face character, if anything.
Yeah.
I will happily have that if it means I can be alive to be with the people I love.
And that's the double-edged sword, because like Johnny was saying earlier, we are okay with it, but yet as a woman in advertising that's surrounded by men, and particularly demographic of men, unless you're blonde and gorgeous with breasts up to your, and even then, like Johnny said, they're going to want them in the room, but they're not going to take them serious.
Right. You're invisible, basically. Yeah.
So
You're
it's
invisible.
it's
And
hard.
you get to be a certain age. It doesn't matter who you are. After a certain age, you do become invisible, unless you're Anna Wintour or something, it's like.
Oh, okay. But that's the thing. Having just come back from Europe, you're not invisible as an older woman. You're just another person. If you've got something to say it. It's a subtle thing, but everywhere people would come up and engage with you and chat with you. And coming back to Australia and being invisible again. No, it's cultural. And there were 1,000 little examples of that. Also, Macron's wife, for example, she's 25 years older than him. We're not talking 2 years, we're talking 25 years. And he thinks she's a sex kitten, obviously, right? And it's that whole thing when girls are very young and do have the beautiful bodies, they're so self-conscious they won't do it with the lights on,
They're scared of the day that they're going to lose it.
Exactly. And older women in Europe are regarded as much more interesting, engaging, and sexy, but not in a cheap way.
I think it's in here.
No more. Hello.
Even if you have all the wrinkles in the world, if you're a good person, you will attract the people you need to attract. You can be the hag in Hansel and Gretel, but if you have the heart of pure gold, people will love you no matter what you look like.
Absolutely.
Because it'll show to somebody, and they're going to want that, because that's what people want at base level, surface level, even in youth obsessed culture. They want somebody to like them and everybody to love them. So it's anyhow.
My mother had her last boyfriend at 95. She had a toy boy of 82 or something.
Thank you, Sunflower. Thank you.
See, we can't all look like Tony. We ain't got them genes. We just ain't got them genes.
Nor a heart of gold.
Some of us have slacks. We don't have genes.
Yes, here you go. Shining Hawk is one of those beautiful people. Yes. Radiates from your heart. Oh, gorgeous.
But see, she's a good person too.
That's what I was saying. She's a very good person.
And anyhow. Last question. Are those on the other side, spirits that used to be here that are now transitioned, are they still affected by astrology?
Oh. Is this a dig at astrologers, Johnny?
This was a dig at Mercury retrograde, actually, is what it was.
I feel like Mercury retrograde came back for a little while before. Let me tell you about that prostitute. God, she killed my $3,000 freaking.
She's screwing everyone.
Refrigerator. Oh God.
I mean dollar store panties, because
dollar store panties made from itchy burlap.
So, Johnny, what is the question again?
Are those on the other side affected by astrology?
Oh.
Because it's I'm not an astrologer. I'm not even into it even a little bit. The thing is, though, you cannot deny that stuff that's laid out up there affects you down here. Now, I don't know why, and people who try to explain it all have different definitions and explanations, so therefore it all makes no sense to me, because something has to match. So it's like, why is Pluto the planet of the underworld out? Who named it that, or who had the authority to say that's what it is? I know it's named after the Hades and the god of the underworld, but why is that what it is in astrology? Why is Saturn the planet of this, and why is Mercury the planet of that? Like, why? I didn't ask that question because that's way too much going on. So, so I changed the question to this: are those on the other side affected by astrology? Because it is bigger than we think it is. So I want to know, are they affected still?
I think it does, kind of. With King of Pentacles, I know. With King of Pentacles, I have that this is way more, it has a way stronger effect on Earth. We've noticed it way more here on Earth. And we kind of take that, we call it magic, we call it astrology. You know, there are people who are able to tune into those subtle changes. And then I kind of get like when you go over, there's this death card, but it's like you're dropping the label of I'm a Libra, I'm a Scorpio, I'm a Virgo, therefore I'm affected this way. Because you just, I don't know, it's like you just exist. You don't have a birth date. Your soul doesn't have a particular calendar birth date instead of, you know.
I like that answer.
Communication on the other side.
Yes, it's a good answer. Thank you, Sienna.
on the other side, they kind of have direct communication from the source. I don't know if they really need the astrology over there. But that's all I got.
Lena, what you get?
Similar, but I think Sienna probably put it better than I can. I think this is sort of partying on the other side. The energy here is, you know, spirit freedom. It's we on Earth who are tied to desperate ways of trying to understand the human experience, and this is one of them, but we're the ones that are tied to it. I've got the Magician here, which is, I think, the transformation to the other side and retreat in that way. I think they observe it all and understand why we need it, but I don't think they need it. Or if they do, they understand it all already or something. You know? They don't need classes.
Oh, Adrian, what'd you get?
Literally the same exact cards as Lena and Sienna, just in a different order. I do. How do I put this? Kind of like Sienna does when she first started. She's like, God, that's kind of what I get too. I'm actually, don't drop it. Started with the 3 of Cups. It just doesn't impact them like that. It's like I got more of the visual.
Oh, ouch.
I got a visual kind of like Mercury retrograde for us on Earth with the King of Pentacles, like shit's breaking down and somebody's very expensive, very lovely LG refrigerator just decides to die after you buy $500 worth of groceries. You know, it's like that's traumatic for us. For them, it's kind of like when you're driving down a road and you hit a little bit of a pothole, but you keep going. It's just so inconsequential because they're already kind of balanced anyway. They're ascended, they're different. So yes, when all of the planetary things impact them because they're in a different time and space, but it just doesn't hit them the same way that it hits us mere mortals on Earth. Because it's just like, again, a little boop on the road, but they're still going versus, you know, our refrigerators are crashing and dollar store underwear type of, you know, because it's just, they've ascended. There's other planets to help balance is what I'm thinking with the astrology versus we're still here on Earth having to control what is impacting Earth in our solar system. That was an awful explanation, but I tried.
You got there. You got there.
I mean, consider the question. I mean, it's one of
That was
those.
kind
I
of a
mean,
tough
from the
one.
beginning, it's like what? I guess, but my answer is the exact same. Okay, Shining Hawk Healing. What do you?
I get that, it's an earth thing. It's, it's a construct of man. That whole thing is just us
To try and
sort of
understand it.
twiddling around with the stars, if you will, because they don't abide by the same rules, or they don't have to abide by the same rules. Once they're out of their body, then that goes away. It just dissipates. So the whole construct of the planetary horoscope thing, I have no idea about horoscopes. It's like math for me. I go, I turn it off. I can't get in it. I can't get into it. There's so much to know, and my head is so full of other stuff.
And then I get confused with like there's your zodiac sign or whatever. Like I'm a Libra, but then you also have like a rising sign and a sun sign and a moon sign and the seventh house and a this and I'm
And
like,
the
what?
nodes and the
Somebody understands it, but I don't.
Lord Margulies. She understands. If y'all
Yeah.
need your astrology chart done, that is who I recommend. She made it make sense to even me. So
I texted the other day.
don't ask me to repeat it.
No, that's right. But you were nodding at the time.
But when she said it, the light went on. Like I got it.
I texted her last week and was like, did Mercury go back into retrograde? She's like, girl, what the hell is going on? I'm like, you're the astrologer. You tell me. Shit.
I mean, because that sucker, because I was finished. I was done. Everything was fine. And then everything wasn't fine all at the same time.
Yeah, and that's why I think we've got to appreciate the astrologers in our world too,
For
because
those who understand it.
it's just you. Oh, these things are happening, and it's such a relief to find out it's a bigger phenomenon.
Yeah, and when it makes sense, it's like, oh man,
Yeah.
yes.
Lenny Marie. Oh, there you go. You got it. For Lucky Girl posted it. Lord Margulies. If you want your astrology chart done, like I said, that is who I recommend. Okay, I get yes and no too, but I'm going to go with yes, just to be decisive, even though I am not a decisive person, Gemini by nature. Seven of Swords is where it starts. There is a scheme and a scam and a strategy to it. There's a way to get in and get out of astrology. But like I said before, astrology is bigger than we think it is. I think even those who understand it, like for instance, there's 12 zodiac signs, but there's 13 constellations. So there's technically a 13th zodiac sign, but that is not incorporated in a person's astrology chart. There is nodes in planets. Planets, just like I think Gary was saying earlier, Pluto is technically not a planet anymore because of its rotation. They took it out of the category of planet, and it's now a comet or an icy body. There's all of the other little bitty ones, like the Chiron and the this and the that. There's also possibly a ninth planet beyond Neptune or Uranus that they have not discovered because of the pool and all this type of stuff. So I think what we understand is just a fraction. And there's a bigger thing going on in astrology. I get the Magician and 10 of Pentacles. There's a much bigger thing that goes way deeper than we think it does. And that part may affect them because it may dictate what they do when they do it, type of thing. Because maybe I am scheduled to be a Gemini because it fits the other plans for my life. I needed to be a person who didn't mind talking for 17 hours straight. So therefore, I needed to be at this point, at this time, under that moon, under that sun, under that star, in this, for the, that.
Yeah, which way round does it really go?
And so, and not just the spirit that incarnated, but the guides that came with it. and then the ancestors that came with it, and then the angels that were sent to protect it. And so there is a schedule for that type of stuff, but I think it exists on a plane beyond our understanding as of yet. So I think it does affect them, but not in a way that we know anything about.
Like quantum physics.
It's beyond us. Yes, it's
That's
beyond
what I was getting, because I'm like, we're just stuck here in the Milky Way. The Milky Way is like this compared to all of this. That's actually in the y'all. We're not talking universe. The galaxy that the Milky Way sits in compared to everything else.
Yeah.
They get impacted. It's just by the other stuff that's going on. This is like a smack of sand in the beach. I kind of
Google the pale blue dot, and that's everything like Adrian is saying. And you just, because they took a picture of Earth from Saturn, from where Saturn is, and it's just a speck. It looks like a piece of dust on the paper. It's that small. So it's a big thing.
We still feel like we're big.
Yes.
And the kings of the universe. We're
as
We
Neil
act like
deGrasse
we're the only
Tyson
ones here.
says, if you look up and feel small, he says, if you look up and feel small, your ego is too high to begin with. So thank y'all. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Sienna. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Lena, for joining me. Next week, we will be on Sienna Rose Metaphysicals.
Yes.
And yes, there you go. And so next week we'll be on Sienna Rose Metaphysical. And if you have any questions or anything, we might put up a post that you can leave questions. I have seen someone ask before. I came up with my own. That's usually how we do. But I mean, we don't mind input. If you got something, just don't ask nothing weird.
That's a weird question.
well, I mean,
Leave the weird questions to me. Thank you. I can't.
I was going to say, what's weird to us?
You ask what you want. That's kind of the purpose of these. This is a break from all of the other garbage that is going on in the news, and so that is why we do this, just for some grins and giggles, and hopefully you have a good night. Your energy should be raised at least a little bit. Nothing was heavy tonight, so thank you very much, and y'all have a good night.
See ya.